Hi, everybody. My name is Coach Backus. I'm the defensive coordinator at Cornell University. It's an honor to get an opportunity to talk a little football with you guys today. I wanted to go through our 3-4 defense, talk a little bit about how we get lined up and how we align our structure and our spacing in the 3-4, and then talk a little bit about our strong or field side zone pressure, which we refer to as Blitz Availability, and then talk about its weaker boundary complement, the weak corner fire, and just go through that a little bit with you guys. Now, just a little bit about what we do and how we get lined up here. Our 3-4 is basically a bench front with an end, our nose, our tackle, our rush, all lining up in what we call our bench front. Now we'll play with our defensive end a little bit, and sometimes he'll be lined up in a 5 technique, or he'll line up in a 4-eye big field set. But basically, that's our front. Our 4 backers, our X is our strong or field outside linebacker. He would be our your Sam or your nickel or your strong outside backer. Our Mike and our Will are our 2 inside linebackers. All right, and our rush is our weak or boundary side outside linebacker, and those are our 4 linebackers, the 3 linemen, the 4 linebackers, and our X is basically our maybe your nickel or your Sam in your defense. Our X goes to the strong side of the formation or the field. He basically lines everybody up with an I'm left or an I'm right call, and our end and our nose and our Mike go with him, and our tackle, our rush, and our W go away. Not unlike most 3-4 spacings. We're in a 2-eye safety coverage shell. We play with a field corner and a boundary corner, which play field and boundary, or in the middle of the field play left and right. And we play with a strong safety and a weak safety, and our strong safety plays to the big field, and the weak safety will go to the boundary or the short side of the field. And again, if they're in the middle of the field, our strong safety will play left, and our weak safety will play to the right. Okay. Now, moving to the pressure, and these are 5-man zone pressures that we'll use. Our strong or field side pressure is what we call spider, and we refer to it as blitz availability, in that we are going to bring it's going to be based off the distribution of wide receivers to the strong or field side. If we've got one detached receiver, we were going to roll the coverage that way, and we're going to bring our strong safety, all right, and our X, slant the line, okay, and then play what we call 4-fire coverage. To detail that out, we basically are going to roll the backside safety over to the strong side and play a coverage triangle with the Mike, the weak safety, all right, and the field corner. And we're going to play a coverage triangle, all right, with the weak linebacker, our Will, all right, our rush, all right, and our boundary corner. Okay. Talk a little bit about the line. Okay. And guys, we'll run this out of either what we call bench, which we just showed you. We'll also run this out of what we call jam. Same thing to us, whether this ends in a 5, making the trip from a 5 technique, or he's in a 4-eye. The nose could be in a shade if it was bench, or a 0 if it's jam. All right, and the tackle's in 3 or 4 eye. But same thing. The way we'll declare the pressure side is we'll, make a luckier Ringo call to tell the defense where it's coming from, and then we'll call the track out. So we've got one detached receiver here. All right, this is what we call spider track. That means that we're running strong safety, all right, and our X, all right, off the edge, slanting the end nose tackle. All right, tackle playing what we call late lat, nose racking across the center space. All right, the end long sticking, the X C-spilling, and the strong safety D crashing. All right, coverage concept that we'll play to one detached receiver is our quarters concept. And we'll play the field corner, on the number 1 receiver mod, man over depth. We'll play the quarter safety over the top of the tight end or the tight number 2, and he'll play number 2, up or out. And we'll play the Mike linebacker as first to the flat, first cross, which we call curl flat. On the back side, we'll play what we call an inverted half technique with our boundary corner. We like him to play off and play top down. And then we're going to have what we call a force flat wheel dropper in our rush and a curl dropper in our will. So you can see the triangles there. So the communication here is, all right, I'm left, spider, and we run it. Okay? Now, the blitz availability piece is, all right, now we have 2 receivers out to the strong side of the formation. And again, the beauty of this is we're always going to have one more out on the perimeter. So if you get a team that's choice in run game and also throwing bubbles or screens and you don't want to get outnumbered, this is a great concept to be able to run and call something where you can still pressure but not worried about getting outnumbered to the field or in a bad situation as far as screens and whatnot. All right, so to the right side of the formation here, this is strong side right. I'm right. All right, now when we've got 2 detached receivers, all right, we're going to run what we call, all right, either smash or scrape. And smash or scrape now involve, all right, our X, who's our strong outside backer, and now the Mike backer, okay? We're going to play a coverage triangle with the field corner, all right, the strong safety and the weak safety. So you can play cloud there. You can play quarters. We play robber, whatever, your triangle is there. We'll play a lot of cover 2 there, or we'll also play quarters. All right, and what we're going to do now, we're going to decrash, all right, the X. All right, we're going to short stick, all right, the defensive end, and he's, from his 4 position or 4 eye, he's just going to take a good angle step and slant the B gap there. And we're going to take the Mike linebacker, and he's going to plug the A gap. All right, that's smash. Now, same as with the rest of the defense on the weak side on the left, and again on the right side, you've got a coverage triangle. So triangles on both sides as far as coverage. And the thing that we'll do here is we'll also run scrape, where we'll take this defensive end and we'll long stick him to the A gap, and we'll scrape the Mike linebacker through the B. We call that scrape. And if you have a defensive end that really can't make the trip down there, and he's not a good long sticker, then you can run smash. If you have a guy that when you move that end to front all the way down to the A gap, he makes a lot of plays, and the Mike linebacker could scrape his outside hip, then you can run that one. We like to start the game in one and maybe change to the other. Okay? So the communication piece, all right, on this picture here is, okay, I'm right, okay, smash or scrape, all right, and then obviously we're running it the pressure to the right side, okay? Now, the last piece here is, all right, if we have 3 receivers, and I'm going to actually draw this up because right, this isn't right. So we have 3 receivers, okay, to the strong side of the formation. All right. Now what we'll do is we'll run what we call, all right, maw. And maw means that, all right, we're going to blitz the Mike and the Will. Okay? So the Mike and Will linebacker are in their alignments. Okay? And again, we want to have one more, all right, than the offense does, all right, on the perimeter. So if you're getting a lot of, bubbles, their choice in the zone, and they're throwing bubbles out here, all right, you can pressure it, all right, and you can still have the numbers out here if they're throwing it to a great athlete in the 2-hole or 3-hole, right? And you can still be aggressive, right, but have something where you can call. All right, so now maw means Mike and Will. All right, now the Mike linebacker will decrash off the edge. All right, the Will linebacker will plug the A gap. All right, we'll late lat with the tackle, meaning he's going to play the B, and then if it's pass, he's going to work outside, and the nose is going to wind up, all right, racking, all right, to the A gap. All right. Again, you can see if the offense is running a zone play, it allows you to gap it out, lets you be aggressive. The quarterback tries to keep the ball, he should run into the Mike, and you still have 4 over 3, all right, to defend any bubbles or a screen game, and you still have 2 over 1 on the backside. Okay? All right, now what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you a little film on Spider, just to talk a little bit about, our 3-4, and I showed you guys a picture of this before, all right, but just to show you the spacing here. All right, so just so you guys have an idea how we're getting lined up in our 34 defense, here's our what we call our X, but your Sam linebacker. Here's your Mike. Here's your Will. Right, there's your rush. There's the 4 linebackers there. Here's your 2, all right, high safeties. Here's your corners. So we're just playing a split field coverage, just like most of you guys do, all right? And obviously we play that defense, okay? Now, Spider, all right, strong or field side, okay, pressure, okay? All right, now, all right, here's a good example, all right, of us lining up. All right, the strong side of the formation is to the right. So for us, all right, this is I'm right. All right, there's our strong side outside backer. There's your Mike. There's your Will. There's your rush. There's your 4 backers. All right. All right, we're bringing our strong safety down. The right safety in this instance, we're bringing strong safety, all right, and field outside backer, all right, off the edge. All right, we're playing a quarter concept, all right, with these 3 here over those 2 receivers. All right, we're playing a triangle with our boundary corner, our weak outside backer, all right, and our weak inside backer, who's our Will. Okay. All right, you can see this is an RPO. All right, so we're blitzing the back of the quarterback. All right, corner does a good job. Obviously, you wanted to hold on to that. All right, let's talk a little bit about, all right, the front here. All right, there's your 3-4. Okay, all right. Spider track, stick, what we call C-spill. All right, his aim points the crotch of the tackle. Tackle sets, or it turns out he's underneath. All right, tackle goes down the way, takes it off his hip. All right, strong safety's off the edge, D-crash, aim point, outside wingtip of the deepest back, all right, rack, all right, play the B gap, all right, verse pass, all right, work to contain, okay. Spider, I'm right, Spider. All right, here's another one. This is verse team put in formation into the sideline. Again, guys, we'll call this as strong. So if we get a team that's putting the strength into the boundary, all right, our outside backer, all right, game plan wise, if we know that we're getting a lot of FSL, that's why we deploy this as strong or field, all right, he'll go, I'm right, and we'll put the strong outside backer to the boundary. So they're putting the formation strength on the hash into the boundary to get away from our stronger field people. So we'll put our stronger field people over there. This is I'm right, all right, and this is spider, all right, C-spill, D-crash, long stick, rack, late lat, all right, coverage, triangle could be out, whatever 3/2 you run. We play quarters for the most part, all right, what we call inverted half, all right, flat, curl. And this is it's a nice pressure versus pro. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to go to 2 receivers here. All right, here's 2 detached receivers. So this is either smash, all right? This is either smash or scrape. All right, so this is I'm right. All right, the strong safety's down. We're rolled over. That's how we run for fire. All right, here's your triangle. Weak safety, strong safety, field corner. Or whatever triangle that you want. You'll see us run robbery here. Where we'll play the safety as a robber, the strong safety as a flat wheel player, and the corner as a half defender. All right, now we're going to bring our X, all right, and our Mike linebacker, all right? We're going to slant the line, all right, and we're going to drop, okay, on the backside. Triangle available here, 3/2. Triangle available here, over 3/2. All right, and again, if they don't want to put the back here, you're getting a team that's just throwing the bubble out here to an excellent player. When you blitz, all right, he's throwing it into numbers. That's why we like spider. All right. And, sometimes, if we had a team that's getting 5 out, like you see against this does a nice job against their protection. So, you can mix the front. Again, we could run this out of bench. We could run this out of a 3, a shade, right? And a tight 5 or a 4-eye, all right? And we'll just change it week to week, all right, as it marries up with our game plan, or just to be able to give, all right, the illusion of a different front, all right, just to change the rules or a blocking assignments for the offensive line. All right, so this is I'm right, all right? The players see the distribution. All right, this is either going to be scrape or smash. All right, I think we run smash here. All right, so this is Mike through the A. All right, short stick, D crash, rack, play the B, late lat versus the pass. All right, and we get off the field. Okay. Here's another one. This is I'm left. There's 2 detached. And we actually run scrape here, guys. All right, so we're going to, our 3-4 spacing. All right, our safeties are rolled over. Here's the triangle right here. You're playing 3/2. All right, with the 2 safeties in the corner. All right, we're going to bring the X from the field. We're going to either run smash or scrape with the Mike linebacker. The line's the line. Okay. We also like this because, you can see here the quarterback, all right, is trying to get the ball quick to the slot receiver, and we've got a robber safety, sticking down over, taking that ball away. Again, if it's a bubble, you've got numbers out there and you've got a guy outside of number 2. All right, and you can see the boundary corner. The other thing that's good about this pressure is, a lot of times you're pressuring and this guy's all alone. And, if maybe you have a year where a corner's not quite as good, and you can't always just lock him up, you can let him play off and play with vision. He's a smart player, and you can insulate him with a flat player and a curl player. so you can let him play top down and maybe get some breaks if that fits his skill set. All right, this is scrape. And we wind up getting home on this one. I'll go to the tight side. This is I'm left. All right, here's your 3-4. All right, our Will. All right, here's our weak outside backer. All right, there's our Will. There's our Mike. We're bringing our fourth strong outside backer from the field, from the offensive right here. Right, and you can see the scrape. All right, the thing we'd like to see the Mike do a little bit better, all right, is really try to scrape, all right, the hip of that defensive end as he goes down. We tell him you want to scrape so tight you could steal the money out of his wallet out of his back pocket. All right, another good coaching point there is, all right, is line him up, all right, over the tackle, all right, and that's where he's lined up in a 50, and as he goes down, his aim point should be the outside wingtip of the guard. All right, and that should, happen nice and clean for you there. But beats the block, all right, and we get him there. Okay? Now I'll go to 3 receivers. Yes. Still 2. All right, here's 3 detached receivers. And I think we stayed in it. We checked it. Here's another one. This is Spider. All right, so this started with three wides in motion. Players did a good job. All right, so with 3 wides, this is I'm right. All right, we'd be in maw. All right, we'd be bringing Mike. We'd bringing Will. All right, we'll take our strong outside backer and let him play hook inside of 3. All right, we'll let the strong safety play the widest underneath dropper to the 3 receiver side. All right, obviously the backside safety would be over the top and the corner would be here. So with playing, all right, 4 over 3. Okay, so that starts as maw. All right, and this could be whatever coverage concept you wanted. If it was cover 2, it would be cloud, half, curl, hook. Okay, and we have a couple of different concepts that will play with those 4 guys. Okay, all right, it's maw. They motion out of it. All right, it goes back to either scrape, all right, or smash. They run scrape here. All right, this is really nice. All right, and you can see that the way the patterns fit. I'll get to the track in a second, but you can see we play our robber triangle here. He robs inside of 2. Corner plays over the top. He plays halves between the 1 and 2 receiver, and our forced flat wheel defender gets inside of 1. All right. On the backside, what we call the invert side, there's our forced flat wheel defender. All right. There's our halves defender, and there's your curl defender. All right. This winds up matching really nicely against the routes. You can see how that works. All right. Get to the track. This is I'm right. It's maw. They motion. It goes to scrape. All right. All right. Late lat. Rack. Stick. Scrape. D-crash. Anytime that we get a linebacker on a back, backers on backs equals sacks. Let me emphasize that. Backers on backs should equal sacks. You can get that matchup. All right, we should win that each time. Okay? All right, now. All right, the complement to that, guys, is, our weak or our boundary side pressure is what we call Copperhead. And Copperhead is basically getting lined up the same way. So let's go to this top picture on the left. The coverage is sort of secondary here. Everybody sort of runs it differently. I'll talk you through what we do. But, this is I'm left. So here's our strong outside backer, our Mike and our Will. Here's our field. We're lined up in the same spacing, right? We're in a bench front. You can also run this out of jam. We like to run this out of bench, right? All right, we're bringing the boundary or weak side corners D-crasher, and we're slanting the line. Stick, tag, rag, rip across the guard's face, play ball. Talking about that defensive end, anytime that you're a defensive lineman away from a pressure side, right, you have to be what we call a smart rusher. If it's pass, we want those guys to stay high and wide, want them to play to the level of the quarterback, and then come back and really never go under the overset. Okay? Now, what we'll tell our players to the strong side of this is to away from the pressure side, all right? This always comes away from the X, right? This is just cover 4. So our field corner, our X, our Mike linebacker, and our strong safety, whatever principles we're playing in our cover 4, could be quarter, could be cloud, could be a 3-by-1 check, out of split safeties, right? It's same as for them, all right? To the weak side of the formation, all right, we'll play what we call curl to flat with the Will, meaning he's got to relate to number 2. And we'll play what we call, yo-yo. You're on your own with the weak safety. That means that he plays that receiver, like he in man to man, and he with no help. All right, and we run this from a too high safety look. This marries up with having split safeties. All right, and we like this obviously versus the pass because the corner's not in protection. And we also like this versus, boundary side run game and single receivers. I will mention this to you. To the weak side of the formation, the real learning takes place over here as far as the corner has to do a good job blitzing. All right, but the Will backer has to understand that anytime that he's got, all right, no threat of number 2, all right, he can basically check off the run and then drop, all right? He can't get beat with anything to the flat, all right? And if he gets nothing to the flat, he basically has to drop and look for first cross from the other side, all right? If there's a passing threat, all right, from an aligned tight end or sniffer, out any wider, he's got to adjust his alignment and basically take his read off that guy. If that guy releases vertically or goes out, he basically has to play him, all right, like he's man if you want to run this. The other option that you would have is to mayday out and just play your base 3-4. We like to leave it on as much as possible. So here's Copperhead. All right. All right, again, you can call this, the way you want it, but this is 3-4 spacing. So strong outside backer, strong inside backer, weak inside backer, weak outside backer. All right. There's your 3 linemen. All right. Copperhead, we're bringing, all right, the boundary corner, all right, as the 5th rusher or the 5th blitzer, all right, and we're going to slant, all right, our defensive line, all right, the weak outside backer and the 3 linemen. It's always coming away from the X, all right? So this is I'm left, so we're bringing the pressure from the right-hand side. All right, if you've got an older group, they just know it. All right, if not, you can direct it, and have your Mike linebacker or one of your backers give a bingo or lucky call. Yeah, but our players know that Spider comes to the left or right call, and Copperhead comes away from the left or right call. Okay? So here we go. All right. Now, again, these guys motion to a 3-by-1. So we're playing our normal cover 4, 3-by-1, right, concept there. What we call a box, 4 over 3. Okay? All right. All right. We're going to blitz the corner. All right. We're going to play the will linebacker on the back. We call that curl to flat. He plays 2. All right. First to the flat, first cross. All right. And our weak safety, all right, is going to play the tight end in yo-yo. All right. Again, it marries up nice because you can hold the split safety look. Good job with the line. All right, we screw the run up. Ball's thrown out quick to the perimeter. All right, and we've got 4 over 3 out there. All right, and again, this is a nice little package if you're seeing a team that's running a lot of bubbles. These first couple clips are a lot of 3-by-1s. And, what's nice about it is you can slant the line, you can bring the corner off the backside, mess up the run game, and not, all right, hold yourself, let yourself be vulnerable, right, out on the, out on the perimeter. Okay. All right. These are, I'll watch this as a trips one again. This is a good job by the safety, the yo-yo safety. All right. The tight end just turns out on the corner. All right. And he just gets down in a hurry and figures it out. All right, but you can see the reason we like this, guys, is, they're running the ball in here. So we're slanting the line. All right. We got a chance to, make things messy. And you got a chance to let your will linebacker read into the play, 2's in the backfield. And we've got 4 over 3 out here. All right. And to talk a little bit about what we do out there, guys, we'll play what we call stump, where we play, midpoint with the corner. We play the outside backer as the 2 to 3 player, and he's got to he's forcing and he jams number 2. We'll play the Mike linebacker as short hook, and we'll play that strong safety in a robber technique where he basically sticks down over the top of number 3 and reads 3 to 2. So if you're getting any zone reads and RPOs where they're throwing the ball to 3, we'll get a 2-headed monster, right, basically on the top shoulder and the bottom shoulder, right, preventing the RPO to number 3, which we like. We'll get a jam on number 2, and we'll force the ball out to number 1, right? And you can do, obviously, whatever you want concept-wise with that box. That's something that we do. Let me see if we can get one with some width on the backside. Okay? It's another trips. Okay? All right, here it is versus jet sweep. All right, so we're playing 3-4. Just bringing the corner off the backside. Again, the 3-4 is really nice because you've got good force angles with the outside backers. We're bringing the corner off that side, and we're slanting the line. All right, so we're taking away any run game back to that side, and we've got good force angles, right, to the big field. Okay. Now this is a good learning video. We'll talk about the pressure first, and then basically what we'll do with this. So, all right, this is, all right, balls on the hash, strong side of the formation's left, all right, we're in Copperhead, okay, 3-4 structure, I'm left, all right, so our X will be here, our Mike will be here, our Will would be here, our rush would be here. We're bringing that corner, okay? Now, this team trades the pair, the two tight ends, over into the boundary, okay? Now, usually, we see a team, that's putting the pair down here. The run's usually going that way. There's a high probability that you're getting run to that side. So against in this game, we just left this on. If this was ever, a formation into the boundary type of a deal where you didn't feel good running the pressure, you could just mayday out of it and slide your defense. But this is us running Copperhead into formation strength. And the players did a good job, all right, with this, all right? This is one of those things, if you decided, all right, every time you got this personnel grouping, if you're getting a lot of this, we might say, all right, we might call, all right, 3-4 AFC, all right? And that would tell the players, all right, if you get, what we call this formation here, Super King Pro, all right, we run Spider, all right, we're in 3-4 spacing, all right? If they trade, all right, the pair to the other side, all right, we're going to go from Spider and we're going to run Copperhead, all right? And it's going to allow you to bring the fifth blitzer, all right, from the tight end side, all right? So you can do some little things like that, all right, that are really simple for the players and execute, but obviously allow you to get what you want defensively, all right? You can see this is a pretty good job, all right, by the line, and the corner doing a good job, with the back being away, digging in there and going ahead and making the play, all right? The footwork of the right safety is good, all right? He's just going to slide over, and we like him to make eye contact with the quarterback and on the snap of the football, all right, get his optics on number one and take his key progression off number one. And you can see this is a good, all right, look at the line slanting, all right, and us playing ball here. Okay. Messy. Okay. All right, this is what I was talking a little bit about before, all right? We're in Copperhead. We're going to bring the corner, okay? And they've got that number 2 receiver here, all right, as a quick passing threat. All right, so we got to take our will linebacker, all right, and he's got to be ready, all right, to cover that guy if he gets out to the flat, all right, and basically take him, match him to the flat and run with a wheel route. And our weak side safety is going to play the X in what we call a yo-yo. Right, if you want to say that's the man side of the coverage, right? This would be our zone side of the coverage. In the corner, digging his way in there. But this winds up being a good little deal. The slant is good. You can see our Mike linebacker gets a nice run through there. Does a good job with his keys. And it's messy. Good little package to have versus a pro team, a team that'll run 12, 2 backs and a tight end, or 1 back and 2 tight ends, and give you some pro formations, and give you a little bit of that. This is, the situation where you got to make a decision here. And our Will, gets lucky here because he doesn't cover, all right, the number 2 receiver. But this is where you'd have to make a decision, all right, to the pressure side. This is I'm left, all right. We're bringing the pressure from the right side, all right, and there's a threat of 2. All right, so what we would need to do, he should plus his alignment a little bit over here and take his eyes on the number 2 passing threat, which is the tight end. This is what we call Dallas, all right, the weak safety, all right, eye progression of number 1, all right, there's your man side, if you will, of the defense, all right, hook for the Mike, all right, we're playing a triangle. I think we wind up playing cloud here, which is just cover 2, curl, cloud, half, right? All right, but the Will, right, gets luckier. He sort of plays a generic drop, we would want that will linebacker, all right, to basically have his eyes here and cover that guy man to man. The other thing is, you know, from call learning standpoint, all right, in this scenario, if your Mike linebacker has to understand where if you're going to run these versus these sets, you know, versus two by two sets, you know, where the distribution is, you know, two quick receivers to the weak side, right? You've got to teach your Mike linebacker, the hook defender, right, distribution wise, and he's got to be able to take any crossers coming back from the zone side. Right? We don't get super elaborate with that. If we want to stay out of that business, you know, we'll have a Mayday versus certain formations so we don't get in that situation. But the blitz is nice here. All right, so watch, the corner does a good job timing it up. All right, getting the quarterback out of the pocket, and he does a good job sacking. Here's another one. All right, this is on left. All right. Corner fire on the right. Okay. Making it messy. All right. Last picture here. And the other thing I will say with this, guys, too, is, you know, if you have any of these X-off teams, you know, so, you know, they're going to take the one of the receivers and put them off, and they're going to give you jet. They're going to give you jet or jack motion, those quick motions. You know, obviously, if you're in this structure, you know, when you get the off to the weak side, you guys could get in this. But you can also, all right, just get your corners to go ahead and trigger and get the same thing versus, you know, that alignment with the X off. That's how we communicate it. And then obviously with the motion, all right? But he starts going, and again, you can see the corner getting in there. And we don't ever want that guy. You know, our philosophy is if they're gonna send a guy in motion like this, we want to make sure that we don't let them make this guy useless. And a lot of times we'll either run this versus that when they're bringing the boundary X off and motion him, or we'll tell our corners in our base defense, if you get that motion, all right, just go ahead and trigger, which we call trigger keys. I think there's some merit into that. All right, last one. Really like this first 3x1. All right, so we're playing cover 4 to the right side. We're in a box. I'm right. Pressure's coming from the left side. All right, you have a split safety look. All right, so it looks like it's 2 high safeties. We're bringing the corner. The line will slant. Okay, and you're getting the counter play back to the single X receiver side, and away we go. All right, and the last thing I'll say, guys, is this, you know, it's as far as packaging the two pressures up. So like I said before, I think, you know, the beauty of, you know, having the 3-4 and then having, you know, a concept or a philosophy from the field strong, and then a concept from the weak or boundary side is, you know, you can put your spacing out there and decide based up how the offensive lines up, which you want to run. You know, so, you know, if you have a single receiver side and the Copperhead pressure fits up good, you know, you might say, let's line up and let's run the corner fire. All right. You know, maybe there's if the team has on the ball tight end and they're moving him around. Maybe if the tight end's to the field, you want to run your spider. And if the tight end's to the boundary, you want to run your corner fire, your Copperhead. I think that's the beauty of being in this spacing and having these two concepts in your defense, all right, and teaching it to your players and being able to run whichever one you want. This is our last play here. you can see, us getting that guy involved. All right. And, especially if he's your boundary corner. All right. And he's maybe not, he's not just a cover guy. If he's a guy that, can tackle and he's a real aggressive kid, you can bring him. And, obviously he's not in protection. A lot of times the offense isn't accounting for him. I appreciate, the opportunity to, to talk to you guys today about our 3-4 structure and our 3-4 defense and our strong and weak side 5-man zone pressure out of the 3-4. And, Nick, I appreciate you having me, man. And, if you have any questions or anything, I'd love to answer them. If not, Nick will have my contact information. And it's been a real honor and a privilege to visit with you guys today. I hope you got something out of it. Go Big Red.